All right. Thank you for joining. Uh, so this is the recap of the previous week and our plans for the future. So first of all, that's for the first week of learning Angular. I believe that's could be quite tough to understand everything. So this is exactly the intention of Q&A session. So um, um, along with some organizational questions, you can also ask everything that is related to the modules that were previously learned. One more hint for you. So if you were attentive, so during like watching lecture recordings, you might be noticed that I've performed the live coding of the to-do list management application from scratch. So this is the single repository with the ready-to-use application. However, the links in each of the modules are pointing at different commits. So let's say if we navigate from directives and pipes module, it will navigate right to the exact commit about directive and pipes. So by navigating to the repository from the modules itself, you can view the state of the repository when performing this or that particular lecture so that you will not get lost with the code inspection. So you can easily see all the directives, pipes that are relevant to that lecture. So it's made for your convenience, first of all. Okay. And additionally, if you were so attentively when watching the lectures, during directives and pipes lecture, I spent some amount of time for describing how to get started with Angular material in case if you need to do so. So it's about, I would say it's mostly about the end. Yeah, here is the quick guide how to get started because that was a question from the audience. By the way, so in your future task, for your simplicity, for creation of UI or visualization, you'll most probably need to use some sort of UI framework. And I highly recommend to use Angular Material because it's natively supports Angular. It supports by Angular developer the same as the Angular core itself. So that could be a good start for creating your applications. Okay, so moving to the next week, there are a bunch of new modules which are also supported by useful links for self-learning and lecture recording. And also here is the link for the live coding source code, which points exactly at that commit that was made during the lecture. Okay, along with the learning modules, we're about to start developing our final Angular task. So we're starting to develop this application starting from this week, and are going to complete the task during the week 26, so that we are given enough time to complete your Angular application. So if we look through the task requirements, actually it's about creating our project management application that will consist of um, boards. Boards means one single project, and each board can contain columns. So for simplicity, let's just describe. I have working demo prototype from students from previous runs. They were doing previously. It was like the task for completing in teams, but since we're giving you more time, so the task will be handled individually. So just for you to demonstrate what is expected to be implemented at the end of the Angular session. So let's have a look. So here we have our welcome page. Here there is section for creating a new user or logging in with existing credentials. I'm going to do login with my pre-prepared the credentials. Hope it will work. See the request is pending. That's because, well, when I provided this demos, these prototypes, they are using Heroku for backend deployment. In Heroku, if it's not in use, it will stop the instance, so it could take a bit time to start the new instance. So that's why the UI hang up. So after login, we see the list of my boards. One board is created. So I should have ability to create a new board. Let's say test2. And here we go. Here is the page, the road for inspecting the board we've just created. So we can add a bunch of columns. Let's say like ordinary column set. This is would be to do. This is in progress. Let's say in testing, and done. So actually the common column set. And of course, under each column, we can create a task. Let's say task 1, and this is the description. And we can create a task under each column we desire. And also there is a possibility to create, to move the tasks and columns between each order. So let's say task 1, we can move to in progress by dragging and dropping. And also we can change the order of the columns, and this layout will be saved. So actually, this is the brief explanation of what is required for the task. So for your reference, I left a bunch of demo projects, which is supposed to introduce the full implemented functionality. So your goal is to recreate this functionality by using Angular. So you can get acquainted with technical requirements and functional requirements as well. For using the backend functionality, there is a prepared repository. However, recently I noticed that there could be some potential problems with that backend, and I'm waiting for the updated link. However, for a good start, you can use either this backend repository, or even more for the testing, you can use the deployed version of one of the demo projects by simply inspecting which requests are sending. Let's say here we're using project management app db-heroku.com, so you can easily use each of the APIs you see is working correctly. That's just like for your reference. But for deployment, for final deployment, it will be a good idea to have your own copy of the backend, because for separate testing, your application should have a separate database, separate set of data. So that's why you need to create a separate backend for your application. So how to do that? Here is actually the link to the repository, which consists of a quick guide how to get started. In a few words, you will require Docker to start up the backend, to install Docker if it hasn't been done previously, and simply run Docker Compose. Docker Compose should be installed separately. By running this command, you will notice that the application is started on the localhost port 4000. And for reference, which request you can use with this backend, you can open the road which is called docs, which actually will lead to this Swagger documentation. So here you can see the list of supported requests. After authorization, you can like have a playground with all of the requests that are listed here. For now, since we passed only first week of Angular learning, my personal recommendation is to focus on setting up your Angular project, installing necessary dependencies, and starting creating all the components. According to the demo applications and to technical requirements. So you can start creating the main layout, or you could start creating even separate pages, even though you haven't learned about routing now, but you still can create a separate HTML templates for each page. So I guess that could be a good start for now. All right, I believe that's it for recapping the previous and the current week. So we're now about to start developing the project management system application, which could be a great addition to your portfolio. All right, so if there is nothing else to highlight, so I propose to jump into your questions. So please go ahead, even without raising hands. Yeah, I see we already have a question. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Who's gonna check this final project?
We're like supposed to mix up with mentors who has Angular as a primary skill set. So this project, I would say the ideal variant is to have a check by mentor. We will see our mentor's workload and who will be ready for checking or verifying the tasks. But don't worry, at the end of the task, we'll gather all the necessary information and we will announce additionally whether it will be checked by mentors who has Angular in their skill set, or we will launch the cross-check. So for now, we don't have clear understanding on it because it fully depends on availability of mentors.
Okay, I understand. And one more question. I have two tasks and that not been reviewed yet because my mentor went to the vacation when I had this last two tasks from stage 2. And do we have time? I submitted them on time. I did not miss the deadline, but do you have still time to like get these tasks checked and have these points for these tasks?
So a good question. So perhaps let's discuss it separately. As far as I remember, there are also a bunch of words that haven't been checked by mentors, and so we're going to reallocate the resources for verifying the tasks that are still in review.
Yes, because there is in our application, I have missed those. It's written like it has a label like missed task, and if you miss two tasks, you get dismissed from the course, and I'm worried about that.
Don't worry if you submitted or created the pull request for the tasks in time, so it counts as you've done and it's pending review. So in case if you haven't missed the deadline, you submitted on time, so don't worry, everything is great.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, any other questions?
Yes, hello. I do have a couple of questions, if you don't
Yeah.
mind. So first of all, you mentioned the mentor. So we will be assigned a new mentor. So will the mentors be assigned, or it's like optional, as you said that you have problems with mentors and stuff. So should we expect this or not? Do you know what I mean?
And please, if I'm not mistaken, previously we discussed that we're going to reassign the mentors, but I'm not sure about that one.
Okay. And if the mentors will be assigned to us. Is that okay if we will ask them for help? During this task, is that acceptable, or they will just check the work that's been done?
Well, of course, you can address all the questions.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Right.
mentors are not about checking your task. That's also the people who can help you in passing your pass, in completing the task, learning materials.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so there was an open question regarding the mentors. So do you have anything to add here? So will the mentors will be reassigned according to skill set?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. My question?
Yeah, that's what's a question to Anna. Maybe you know.
Well,
Okay.
no, I don't. So the last one is that you mentioned about routing. So it's the Angular is pretty complicated in terms of there's so many things and components. So what would you recommend in terms of building the applications, like going for a single page approach, or is with multiple pages? What would be the easiest way in your opinion?
What do you mean by single or multiple page approach? So Angular is the single page application framework.
It's just because I think you mentioned routing. I'm not really confident in this thing. So I understand that routing allows you to do like multiple pages. When you write in the let's say the URL address with the slashes, so it changes the pages, or it's not what I'm thinking. It's
Okay, I understood. So that could be some sort of misconception with it. So why I was asking this question? So Angular is a single page application framework. So what does it mean? Just a quick recap. So let's say we have GitHub. When you open in some sort of page, let's say we have the following URL. When we're requesting for this URL, so actually we're getting in response each time we're getting the new page, the new layout that is to be displayed. So multiple page application means that you're reloading entirely the full layout for showing the page. At the same time, single page application means that you're loading your layout only once. Let's say like here. So if we refer to the JS doc, so if we refer to this, we see that in response we got the. Let me go through. We have some basic layout. Well, actually, this is like the empty tag, which will be filled with the content, and the no script, which will indicate that our browser is not supported for running this resource. And actually, when you click in the links, when you're navigating, you're not loading the templates itself. So your web browser is not reloaded. So this is the single page application approach. If you were asking about the final task, whether it should be single or multiple page enabled, my answer is the task should contain all the features that are learned during the Angular stage. So it means that each page, so if we are looking for the task requirements, we see that in requirements, we have several pages: welcome page, board page, board listing page, and so on. So it's actually a separate pages. For your reference, you can check the demo tasks, prototypes that are listed in the same file. So actually, this is what expected at the end of the task.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. When is deadline for mentors to submit results for last interview? Not quite sure about this one. But usually when we're speaking about 2 weeks for review, so that's the rule by default is applied for all the assignments, including interview, because it's necessary to get the feedback in time. However, if you experience the problems with your mentors, with verification, please do not hesitate, highlight each case. We'll find someone else who will help with verification, with gathering generalizing feedback, and so on. So please, if you see that it's quite hard to keep in touch with your mentor, or it's you're waiting for so long for feedback, so please highlight each case. We'll try to help you. Okay. One more thing. If the interview with EPAM is considered earlier, next week, for example, will Angular knowledge will be required? Yeah, definitely some of the Angular questions could appear on the interview, but we're not able to provide like you a full list of topics that will be on your final exit interview. But definitely some of the questions could contain Angular topic. All right, any other questions? Okay, looks like no.
Wait.
Can we use Firebase for the backend? It's the question. So that's what Asa for Firebase for backend. Yeah. So it would be quite complicated to recreate the backend. So the task is to create a front-end application, not the backend. So if you look at the Swagger documentation for the prepared backend, you see that actually there are lots of routes, and I'm not sure you need to spend time on it. So it's much easier to use already ready to use backend rather than thinking on another solution. I know that Firebase has such capabilities, but I don't think it's would be a great idea. I know you. Sorry for interruption. You were saying something.
I would ask you to wait
Okay.
for new message.
But yeah, but actually, previously we had an open question regarding the mentors. So will they be reassigned according to the skill set? Maybe you remember.
I hope yes, but I didn't get the clear answers from our mentors, so I have now the amount of mentors.
So that's what I was previously talking about. So it's the verification process, the overall process with going forward. It fully depends on mentor's capabilities. However, definitely, your mentor is the first person to whom you should address all the questions related to modules. Maybe something is not clear, but if you see that the mentor is not capable of answering your questions, so please do not hesitate to address them to Discord. So the question could be about the module. Something could be unclear in terms of Angular or in terms of tasks. So please ask any questions and we'll try to help. Because I know that's learning framework in Scratch, even though having not enough time, it's too complicated. I know that there are lots of informations, and this is completely new for you. So please address as many questions as you can. And please use your time during our Q&A sessions to not only ask about some organization stuff, but also about the Angular questions itself. So I believe for today we're done. If there is no any other topics. Okay, so thank you everyone. Thank you for your attention, and see you next week.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
week.
Have a nice
Have a
day.
great week.
Bye.